Hi, everyone. So I wanted to go over how to generate a schedule. Basically, it's how to set up your league. So I'm at the step here where I'm already logged in and I've already created my event. So you want menu, and under manage, you go to create my event. So now I have access um, to my event. This is the front page. I can post stuff on here if I want to uh, send a message. Basically, I want people to see it on the home page on the app. I can put some advertisement here. Us at CompuSport, we are able to post things that we decide that we want the players to see, or we want the managers to see. So far, I send a lot of manager posts so that there's a new tool out there, or there's a how to do something that's been asked very frequently at that time. So I post them on here. So this is your front page. So once you get to your demo, so let's say I was like in general, here are all the leagues that are posted live so people can see them. Mine is a darker color because it's not posted yet. I'm working on it and I don't want people to see that it's on CompuSport quite yet. So I can click on it. It goes into my favorites automatically. I'm on my front page, and now I click on the demo on the menu at the top left corner. And now I have access to all my tools. I only get this once I select my league. So when I want to set up a league, the next step is to put your locations in. You want the system to know all the different bars that you're using and how many tables are at each place. So when you go buildings, automatically you get a building number 1. You can reuse it if you want and rename it, or you can click on the plus. So here the plus, because I'm in the section called buildings and bars, the plus is to create the buildings. So here I'll name it Legion. I can add all the information if I want, because I can keep track of that information on CompuSport if I want, but the minimum that needs to be in is the name, and it wants to know how many surfaces are at the Legion. So if you're using one table for one match, so 2 teams are using the one table, you call it one surface. If one bar has 2 tables, but they're both being used for a match, you want to tell the system that there's one spot. So basically, you should look at, instead of looking at individual tables, you're telling the system how many matches can be played at that bar per night. So if you've got 2 tables and you use both of them, you're just going to say 1, because you don't want the system to schedule 2 matches. So you just want to say 1. If you've got 4 tables, you'd say 2. But if they're using single tables, you just tell the system, if they're at the Legion, there's 4 tables and the 4 tables could be used, you say 4. So there could be 4 different matches at that place. So I could say 4. If I have another bar, I click on the plus again, and now I name it something else. So I'm going to say pub and grill, inventing stuff over here. And then I can say that there's like 3 tables at that place. So I keep going. I could always come back later and put my address in. So if I want to edit the information, I click on it, pencil, and it brings me back to that pop-up where I can put the information in. I can also choose to drag them and put them in the order that I want. And that's what the order means whenever I create one. Right now, it automatically takes order number 4 because it wants it to be the 4th one in that column. So basically, what the order that they appear in. I can also put them in alphabetical order if I want to. Anytime there's a floppy disk I want to save, basically it's because I've made a change on the chart here and the system wants to save the changes you've made. So on any page, you'll see under divisions, under players, under brackets, and so on, there's going to be these tools. The plus to add. So if I'm under teams, I'm adding a team. If I'm under divisions, I'm adding a division. If I'm under bars, I'm adding a bar. Excel icon, you'll see it everywhere. Basically, if you click on that, it's going to bring all these columns that appear here to an Excel spreadsheet. The grid is the next one. I call this the grid. Basically, it's you decide the order that you want these columns to appear in. So name, address, phone number. I can change the order that they appear in. I can decide not to show some of them. You know what? I'll never put in the zip code, so I can hide that. Or, oh, I want it. So I put the little eyeball. and then you save, and then basically you'll see the columns in that specific order. So that is specific to a login. So if you are two working on a league, you could have different columns in different orders because you've personalized them to your own login. Next step, next tool is the magnifying glass. On any page, if I click on the magnifying glass, I get a search here. So if I had a huge list, instead of looking down the list, I could say, I could do a search, and then I could search for something by putting in keywords, enter, and then it would find it. This is more useful, I'd say, like under players, just because you've got so many of them. So if you're looking for how many mics you've got, or if Mike is there, you could just put in Mike and then do a search. So this is the buildings and the table. So if anytime I need to make some changes to the tables, I can come under tables, and all the tables that I put in when I was saying 4 and 3 of how many surfaces, they're here. So now, I don't know, maybe Legion turns out that they only have 3 of them. So I could just remove one, delete it. So I select it, trash can. Selecting pencil is to edit. So I can change some of the information. By default, our system names them 1 through whatever, how many tables you put in, but you could name them something different. It could be like L for Legion 1, L2 for Legion 2, table number 2. So it's really how you want to set that up. So these are your surfaces. Very important to put the amount of surfaces that are in the bar. So if you've got 4 teams coming out of that place, you need at least 2 tables so that the system can alternate home and away. If it doesn't have any, you'll see it's going to tell you that you don't have any surfaces to be able to schedule. If you're using 2 tables for a match, you want to say 1 surface. So basically 1 match could be played. If you've got 4 tables, you could say 2 matches. So also a very important piece of the puzzle. So when you're in tables, if you forgot to put tables for a specific bar, you could also add many surfaces at the same time, rather than this is 1 by 1. The plus is 1 by 1, add many surfaces, a whole bunch at the same time. I click on the menu again and I get to the manage column. This is where all the settings are to set up your league. So now I've got my location surfaces. If I'm done with that, I can minimize it if I want to. Divisions. So this section, divisions, what is a division? A division is kind of like, I see it like a folder. So if I've got one league, like my Monday night, I'll have one folder for my Monday night, and I'll have another folder for my Wednesday night. So you don't want an event called billiards Monday night and another event called billiards Wednesday night. If you're the manager of those 2 leagues, you want to create one event called billiards leagues or something like that, 21, 22, and then have your Monday night and your Wednesday night as divisions. So here under divisions, I'll go to divisions, and then right now my divisions page is empty, but what I want to do is click on the plus, create a new division. So I could be like Monday Fall League. I pick a color. That sounds silly for now, but you'll see that later on in the scheduling piece, it's nice to the eye that there's different colors for the different leagues. So the minimum that you have to set up here is the name, the color, tell the system if it's a team or singles, and save. The rest is extra information. The is public is so that people can see it later on. If you want people to see the name of the division, the teams that are on it, the rosters for that division. So whenever you're ready, you make that public, and then teams will be able to see the information. It will also allow people on the app to, the app will prompt, hey, you know what, I've noticed that a Mike Smith is playing in this league. Is that you? And then they can say yes or no. So they're basically merging their account to their player profile on CompuSport. So if I have another league, I click on the plus again. Now I'll do like Wednesday Fall. The reason I say fall is because you could also have a winter later on, and a summer or a spring, whatever. You can put them all, these divisions. Basically your event is good for 1 full year. So anything that's happening in that 1 year, so it could be a May to May, it could be a September to September, you want to put it under the same event. The following year, you can copy your event over. You'll save a lot of time for the setup process, but basically you want all divisions, all the leagues that you have in one full year, you want to put them all into the same one. So I can come back later and make more, but for now, I'll concentrate on my Monday fall and my Wednesday fall, for example. So if I'm done with divisions, I could close that down if I want to. And then the next step is to put in your teams and players. So when you're taking registration and you're putting them in, you want to go under teams. Players will get added automatically by putting the roster, but you want to go to teams. So menu, manage, players and teams, teams. When you're in teams, you want to choose the division that you're filling out the teams for. So division all, and then I'm saying I'll take care of Monday now. So I'm opening up my Monday folder basically, and I'm going to put teams in. So I click on add team with members. Auto generate team name means that it's going to take everyone's last name as the team name. If I don't want that, I can uncheck it and I could do like team one and name them. Tell the system what their default location is, so their home bar. And it's nice to do those first. And that's why I always say to do those first, because then they end up here on the list. So it's kind of nice to just do it at once and not have to go back later and take care of that. But you can if that process wasn't made. Now, the find player section. So here, if I put in a player, the system will auto-populate all the Mike Smiths that are found on the system because I typed in Mike Smith. I can look on the list, and if it's not one of these, I can click here to create and add this new player. But you're basically creating a brand new player on our server. So basically, you want to make sure that you take a close look and see if it's one of them. Okay, so Mike Smith, that's obviously, a big name. But let's say I looked up myself. I can see that some of these are all me. But take the best fitting one. Basically right now we are working on the process of cleaning that up and merging them all together. So here I'll take Sophie and it puts me in, and then I'll take all the guys at the office. So Neil, I'll put him in, and I keep doing that. The more you put in, the more specific the search becomes. And then I've got Christian, and I can keep going. And like I said, if I put in a name, I'll show you an example. See if I put in Sophie Rushlow. Let's say I was on another team now. See how my name is in white font compared to the green font? This is a hint that this Sophie Rushlow already plays in your league. So probably most likely this person. So instead of picking another one, which will create duplicates on your event, most likely you want to pick the white font writing because that person's already playing in your league. So you want to look out for that. So you put in your roster. You can always come back later if you don't have the full roster, but at least you've got your team, the default location, and some of the players, and you could click on OK. So my team is added here. I can add another team, add team with members. Team number 2, I can name them, obviously, Legion. And then now I'm putting the rest of my team in. And again, just picking the guys at the office. And I keep putting the players in. And then I say, okay. If you want to add a new person, I'll remove my little face here. So let's say team 1 has a new person on their roster. I can select team 1 and see there's the roster here on the right hand side, and I could click on the little plus to add a new person to the team. Like that, and they get added to the list. Maybe Christian's not playing now for this team, so I click on Christian and I put him in the trash can. It's going to remove him from the team roster. So you keep doing that, and then you can do your Wednesday, and you can keep flip-flopping back and forth between the two, or you can go to the all list. Division all means that you're going to see the list of all the teams that you have in your event under my event called demo training video. For you, it could be, pool, pub and grill pool leagues or something like that. So here you've got your teams, and then you can make some changes. Basically, in order to generate a schedule, you want to have a division, you want to have the teams in, and you want to have the default location. So the roster doesn't really matter to generate a schedule, but you definitely want the amount of teams and you want their default location. You do not want to create a bye team if you have an uneven league. The system will detect that on its own. Once it sees that the teams are uneven, it's going to create a bye automatically. So don't create a fake bye team and naming it bye. There are ways to switch them if you end up getting a team in the end, but do not create a team called bye. So that is it for the players and the teams side of things for now. So menu, manage, players and teams, teams. So as I put the teams and I put rosters, if I go to the players list, you'll see the players list is fed from the fact that I created teams and I put rosters in. So one step, creating the team, putting the players in, adding their default location, just kind of does it all instead of coming in, putting all my players in. And then after that, I have to, basically I created all my players. Now I have to grab my players again and put them on the team. So I really suggest going with the teams first, add team with members and put the rosters in there instead. If I want to add more, I click on it. I can pencil, I can change their name to team Compu, save, so I can make the changes. So again, clicking on it, pencil, or clicking on it and getting the roster in on the right-hand side. So that is teams. So next step to generate a schedule, first was putting the locations in, second was to create divisions, third was to put the teams into the divisions. So it's really important to pick your divisions at the top. Next step is to create a round robin. So I go menu, manage, brackets and round robins. I open up that section and I go round robins. Under round robins, basically the round robin is a folder that's going to hold the information for each league. So it's going to hold the calendar, the schedule. It's going to hold the score sheet information because you can have separate score sheets for both leagues that are under the same event. And you decide when you make that public. So when I'm under round robins, I click on the plus and the system wants to know, okay, well, a round robin for which league? So I'm going to say, I'm picking my divisions here. So I'm saying Monday Night Fall. Under the score input section is where I'm going to choose the score sheet, choose the point system, how the handicap's going to work, how the handicap's going to be calculating, who wins, who gets the round points if you're using round points and so on. But that does take a little bit of time to make sure that that's all set up. So if you are in a rush today to generate a schedule, I suggest doing the score input later. So to generate a schedule, you put in your bars, you create a division, you put your teams in and you tell the system what default location they are playing out of, and then you create a round robin. So here, round robin, I can do Monday, it names it by default, and then I save. So I haven't done anything with my score sheet and whatnot yet, but basically right now I'm just making sure that I can generate a schedule to get that out there. So I've got my Monday fall, and then now I can do my Wednesday fall, save. Same thing under here if I want to make changes. So now I've got my schedule and I want to come back and I want to work on my score sheet. I can come in here, I click on one of the leagues, pencil, score input, and then I can fix that up. What's nice about the following year is that you copy your event and all the settings stay there. So you don't have to choose all that again. It's just going to be there for you. All you're going to do is fix your teams and your rosters and create a new schedule the following year. So now I've got my Monday and my Wednesday. If I want my one Monday to be on top, I can drag it and drop it, save with the floppy disk, click on it if I want to make changes in pencil. So now I'm ready to generate a schedule. So next step, I'll repeat again. And the reason I speak this way is because we've got step-by-steps that can be found under the FAQ, frequently asked questions page. The step-by-step to generate your schedule, and you'll see all the step-by-steps always kind of talk. I see it like a roadmap. So I always say menu, and then I'll say manage, brackets and round robins. So that shows you where to go. So it could be menu, manage, schedule charts, surfaces scheduler, and then you just kind of follow the roadmap. So to generate a schedule now, I'll go back and show you the road. So you've got your bars and locations done, your divisions done, your teams are in with their default location so that the system knows where to schedule them, round robin. And now you're ready to generate. So menu, manage, schedule charts. And here you can do it from the calendar or the surfaces scheduler. I prefer the surfaces scheduler just on a visual perspective. And I'll explain to you, you'll see why later on. So to generate a schedule, to create a schedule, I prefer to use the surfaces scheduler. So I click on surfaces scheduler. I get to my page here. What I see is the time of day, all the hours, the day that I'm on. This is a filter. So right now I'm looking at September 7th only, or I can say, you know what, I want to look at anything that's between September 7th all the way to April 29th, for example. So the system would show me anything that's in between that. At the top here, I see the bars that I created and the tables that are in each bar. So what I want to do now is click on generate schedules. When I click on generate schedules, I get a section here at the bottom called add schedule groups. These schedule groups, basically, I'm going to compare it again to a folder. You're creating a folder where you're going to tell the system what dates you want to schedule for. So the name of it won't be shown anywhere, but it's basically for you to be able to tell the difference. So I could say like Monday, simply just Monday. And then I can add a schedule group for Wednesday. Okay, so now I get two option buttons. The fact that I created a schedule group gave me the option button, which I need to put the information in. Now, I didn't use this as an example. I made two leagues. I made two divisions that are completely separate. One's on Monday, one's on Wednesday. But if you have two Monday leagues, a Monday A and a Monday B, and they share some of the bars, schedule them together, schedule them at the same time so that our system can share. It's going to think and it's going to try to share the bars between both of them, especially when there's teams that are playing in both. So it's really important to schedule them together. I didn't do that example today. I did a Monday, Wednesday, but if I had two Mondays, I would have created two divisions called Monday A, Monday B. And then when I get here, when I click on the option button, and I click on round robins because I want to tell the system, who am I scheduling for? So my first option is so Monday, options, round robins. So here I want to tell the system that I'm using Monday fall. But if I had a Monday A and a Monday B, this is where I'd be selecting both of them. So Monday fall, I click on OK. Next option, options again, and this is recurring dates. So this is where I'm going to tell the system what dates I want it to be scheduled for, scheduled on. I'm going to reserve some schedules because I don't want the system to generate on those dates. And so this is where I need to calculate. So basically, if I had a league of 10 teams, for example, 10 teams need 9 weeks to play each other once. We call them iterations, one iteration. So if you've got 9 teams, it takes 9 weeks to play each other once because you've got a bye week. So when you're going to recurring dates, I'm gonna go over it again. Under Monday, options, recurring dates. If I had 2 leagues that have different dates that I want to reserve, I can specify it by clicking on my Monday A or my Monday B that would be just below it. But in this case, it's the same for both. And in this actual example, I don't have 2 leagues. So I'm just going to stay here. So I could add each date one by one with the plus, but we just love shortcuts. So we click on add recurring dates. And this is where I'm going to start. I'm going to choose my start and my end. So I want to start this league. It's my Monday league. So I want to start it on, let's say, September 13th. So I click on September 13th. Let's pretend I've got 10 teams. So it takes 9 weeks for them to play each other. So I can count it out and know how far I need to go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And let's say I know that I've got Thanksgiving. So Thanksgiving this year is like on the 25th. So if it's gonna, affect my league. Am I going to take the Monday off before or the Monday after? Up to you guys, but you kind of got to count over it. So let's say I go, I don't know, all the way to April 25th. So I know that they're going to play each other, maybe 3 times or whatnot. So my start date, my end date, the start time, and the day of the week. The system will pick all the Mondays that were inside. So from the, September 13th to April 25th. So now is where I can look at the dates and say, you know what, we're not going to play on December 27th. And so I'll reserve it. So I click on the date that I want and I click on the pencil and I reserve it. Basically, if I reserve it, the system will not schedule anything on that date. I can even write a little comment that will also show up on the schedule. So I could say no play holiday, or like Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, whatever you want, and you save it. You know what? We're not going to play on January 3rd either. So I'm going to pencil and I'm going to say Happy New Year. If you have to take Thanksgiving off, if you want positioning rounds. So if it's 10 teams, every 9 weeks, they've played each other once. So I could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The 10th week is going to be a positioning round. So I can reserve that date. And I can say position round and put it in. So you see how I'm doing that? I'm just basically preparing. I'm letting the system know all the dates that I need, all the dates that I don't want anything to be scheduled on, and I keep doing that. So I click on the dates and then I click on pencil and I reserve it. Maybe I picked too many dates. You know what? Turns out I don't want April 25th. I can grab it, click on the trash can and remove it from all of my dates. Okay. So when your dates are picked, you can close. Next step, which now it's going to kind of seem a little silly because I don't have a lot of teams, but I'm going to generate. And here, the system is detecting that I've got 29 weeks available. So I have to choose. Do I want the system to schedule all the dates? Or do I want the schedule to have a complete iteration? So in this case, it's got 29 dates. I've only got the 2 teams. So, I mean, it's not really doing anything. I'll go back actually and make it a little bit more realistic, just so you can get an idea. So I'm going to go back to menu, manage, players and teams. I'm going to grab my Monday and I'm going to put a few more teams in there. So team 3. Default location, very important. Add team with members. Team 4, default location, really going random here. And team 5, put them at pub. And I'll put one more team. So 6 teams means it needs 5 weeks to play everyone once. Let's save. Here, I want to make sure everyone's at their right bar. So if I click on default location, it would sort by it. And I know I've got, okay, so 3 teams at each place. That's good. Also, you can change the columns here. So again, with the grid, and here, see, I've got way more options. I could hide them, but maybe I want like default location to be right next to the name. I want to be able to see it, save, and then see how my column has moved. I can make my players column be closer to. So whenever I've got rosters in there, I'd be able to see it, save. I can open up the columns here by stretching them like that. All right, so I've got 6 teams, 3 at Legion, 3 at the pub. So that will give us something a little bit more realistic when I am generating. So menu, manage, schedule charts, serve as a scheduler, generate schedules. I get my tool at the bottom, options. I've already got the round robins, and because I've added those teams will be added in there. I've got my recurring dates. Maybe I can do something a little bit more specific too. I've got 29 dates right now. 6 teams needs 5. So 32, see how it counts over here. 32 minus the 3 dates. I can pretend I've got a positioning round. It probably wouldn't be on that date anymore. Let's fix that. I click on the date, pencil. You know what? Forget that it's a positioning round. I miscalculated that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I could have like one here if I want to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put one here. So, you know, really, if you have positioning rounds, but right now I've got 32 dates minus the 2 that I'm reserving for the schedule. So 30, so basically 30 dates to schedule. So that'll be good. I'll close that. Monday, options, generate. Okay, this is what I wanted to show you. This makes a little bit more sense. So I've got 6 teams on my Monday fall. I've got 30 dates, so I could have 30 rounds, so I can pick all the dates, or the system is detecting that they could play each other 6 times in 30 rounds. So in this case, because it matches 30-30, both of them would give the same results. But if I was to, recurring date, have like one less date that it would just not fit, for example. If I generate, see now the system is detecting, okay, well, you've got 29 weeks. What I can do is I can schedule all 29 weeks so everyone plays each other once and then it starts over again and they start to play each other, but they're not going to play an equal amount of times if I pick the 29 weeks. Or the system saying, hey, you know what? They could play each other 5 times in 25 rounds. So you'd have to make a choice here. Do you want all dates? You're like, you know what? They're not going to play any equal amount of times, but I really want to finish at the end of April. Or you know what? No, I want it to be fair. I want everyone to play each other an equal amount of time. So it's going to end sooner because it only needs 25 weeks to do so. Or that's where you could add in some positioning rounds in between so you can end it later. But basically now you're deciding all dates or complete iteration. At the top here, the system's going to name it by the date and time that you're scheduling because it wants you to be able to tell the difference if you were to try to generate a second schedule. So here I say complete iteration. I say okay. The schedule has come up with a home and away. It tries to be even for home and away. It tries to be even for the bars so that they're not like 3 at home and 0 the next week. So it tries to see how it did that. So like there's 2 teams, 1 team, 2 teams, 1 team, 2 teams at each place. So that all the weeks. So a few options here. Now that I have my attempt option means that this is an attempt. The system has come up with the schedule. It wants to know what you want to do with it. If I click on the attempt option, I could accept the attempt. So I'm saying, yep, you know what, I'm accepting this schedule. I can delete the attempt. I can look at a scheduling statistics. I could look at a PDF schedule. So like one like this. It could have more information depending on what you've put in. See all my reserved dates. The reserved dates show up in here with the note. That there's no play there. So that's a PDF schedule. I could look at the C schedule is basically here in the background. So each box is a game, a match basically. So team 4 against team Compu at the Legion. The scheduling statistics, I'm not sure if it's going to look very good with just 6 teams, but let's take a look at it and see what it does. So scheduling statistics helps you know all the teams that you have and how many home and how many away matches they've got. Now I've got 25 games, so obviously it can't be even. So it went 13-12. So everyone's got either 12 home or 12 away and vice versa. Second page basically is a graph of the bars that you have. You'd have the list of all of them, and it's showing you that the system tries to be fair. So 1 match, 1 night, 2 the next, 1, 2, instead of having 3 and then 0. So it's trying to fill your bars as much as possible. Here, a little bit more useful if it's an in-house. Basically, the system would try to be even on the tables that they're going to play on so that the same teams aren't playing on everyone's favorite table. And here it's showing you each team against the opposing team and you know how many times they're home, how many times they're away, and how many times they play each other in total. So that is a scheduling report statistics basically. So it's in the attempt options, scheduling statistics. So if I've taken a look at the schedule and all looks good, I can accept the attempt and I'll make that schedule official. Now, if you're like, oh, I really want team 1 to play against team 5, you could try to generate a few times and see if you're lucky enough. Options, generate, and I can generate another one. I can generate as many as I want until I've accepted them. So because I haven't accepted it, I can go ahead and generate another schedule. So see, now I can tell the difference. I generated one at 3:11 and now this one's at 3:15. So just to help me to know the difference. If not, I could have renamed them. I could say like attempt number 1, attempt number 2, and so on. I can look at scheduling statistics for that one and so on until basically I accept the schedule. So let's say I prefer this one and I say accept the attempt. Are you sure you want to do that? Okay. The other one will disappear. And that has become my official schedule. And that is how you generate schedules on CompuSport. Thank you so much for watching. And until the next video, let me know if there's anything you need. You can email us at info@compusport.us.